We got a whole bunch of new Yeat info over the past 24 hours, like that he's actually dropping this month. But today, we'll break it all down, so let's jump straight into this. If you want to stay up to date with everything surrounding hip-hop, make sure to subscribe and also become a part of this community by joining our Discord server in the description. Real quick, if you don't want to listen to this, make sure to skip 10 seconds into the future, but you can now sign up for my free newsletter with the first link in the description. It comes every Sunday and it recaps everything that's been happening in hip-hop over the past week, so make sure to do that. So in my last video, I talked about the possible release dates for Yeat's new album 2093 that he's been teasing ever since November. We had a lot of info in November, all of those different trailers with the Life Bot and the Real Life programs and the whole lore surrounding this album. And then the most recent update that we had was those projections of the title, or 2093 is coming, all around the world, from Paris to London to LA to other places that we couldn't identify, but they were everywhere. And we saw this big promo rollout really kind of hitting us in January, right after New Year's, around that time. And then we thought the album was coming pretty soon. And in that last video, I made the prediction that he's either going to be dropping on February 16th or 23rd. The reason for this being that if you take a look at his last two releases, his last two studio albums, which were obviously 2 Alive in 2022 and also Afterlife just last year, so 2023, that I covered quite extensively when that was dropping, they both dropped on February 18th or February 24th respectively. So always mid to late February. And those two dates, the 16th and the 23rd, would cover those pretty well. So we thought, okay, it's going to be in February also because the rollout was picking up in pace a little bit. He now confirmed this. He went on Instagram, and there's a lot more in this post, and we got a bunch more info that I want to go over, but let's start with the biggest one. He shared a picture to Instagram. Maybe you've seen this. This was pretty big. And actually Zach Bia was in this one as well. They were in a plane, in a private jet, and they were reading the New York Times. And in the caption for this, Yeat said, 2093 is coming. So February, then 2 question marks, 24. So you also got to take into consideration there's 2 question marks, so it's not going to be the 9th next week unless he does a 0 before the 9th, but he also didn't do a 0 before the 2 for the month. So that was what I was thinking, but that's likely not going to be it. But as you can tell, he's teasing this thing coming in February. Also, he's wearing an OVO chain in this picture, but we're going to be talking about Drake in a second. Also, a couple of interesting people commented on this. Summers, Can, Tizo Touchdown, for example. So maybe be on the lookout for some of them, even though they might just be showing love. So this album is actually coming this month, likely in 2 or 3 weeks. As I always do, I'll keep y'all updated if we get any more info, so make sure you stay subscribed not to miss out on that or on any new Yeat news that are possibly coming. But let's talk a little bit more about this post, because there were more than one picture on this. Obviously, the one with Zach Bia where he was announcing all of this, but also another one of him being in the studio. And tell me who that is recording. I can't really make it out, but he is the one that's sitting on the left in the actual control room of the studio, and someone else is recording, but obviously he just wants to show us the recording process for this. So that is one update that we got. The second one, which is the more interesting one, is him being on FaceTime with Drake. And I don't know what he's doing up in that upper right corner with the newspaper in his hand and the coat on, the mink coat on. Drake got the same coat on. I don't know what they're doing. I don't even want to know what they're doing. But there's something going on with the newspaper. I don't know why Yeat all of a sudden started reading physical newspapers, but he is. And obviously the Drake feature. Likely we're going to have a Drake feature on there. He was also wearing the OVO chain in that first picture. And now the Drake FaceTime. Also, they just came off of I Don't Give a Fuck off of For All the Dogs, which is likely one of Yeat's biggest songs and one of the songs that really yet was another stepping stone in his career. we're gonna have a Drake feature on there. I'm pretty convinced. Like, there's no way around this. So that's already pretty big news. It's coming in February. There's something with newspapers, and we got a Drake feature. Something else he posted on the story was his new chain, his 2093 chain, which looks like an item out of a video game. And actually also the jeweler Alex Moss, who did this, also posted like a little trailer. They had like 2093 at the beginning. So this is all part of this rollout. It's getting pretty big. I personally don't like this chain, but it looks pretty sick, I gotta say. Now, we just talked about a feature with Drake possibly. Let's keep going with those features, because he posted on his Instagram story a snippet with Future, and he, hashtagged this Pluto93, and I like this so far. I mean, it doesn't sound like it's gonna be world changing, but we haven't had a Future feature on a Yeat song, and I mean, this combo obviously seemed like it would work. But this being the proof that it does work is a pretty good sign. So already we got Drake and Future as two very big stars that are going to be featured on this album. I honestly have a lot of expectations for this record, and so far I haven't been let down when it came to Yeat records. I mean, the first rollout that I probably covered, we did Two Alive a little bit, and then the deluxe for that, the Geek Pack. We did Life, the EP. That was pretty good. We did Afterlife when it came out quite extensively a year ago. So going into this, I mean, especially what happened with Yeat over the past year, even though he wasn't as active in putting out his own music ever since Afterlife, we had like Artie Rich came out, we had Bigger Than Everything, stuff like that dropped, but nothing like an album or an EP like he used to have crazy frequency with the drops. But he has probably had the most successful career when it comes to the magazine covers, when it comes to the features, like that Drake For All the Dogs feature. This was a very big year for him, and I think him taking out the pace a little bit and making himself rarer and also more mysterious, that maybe allowed him to now have that platform to drop an amazing record. I've seen some rumors that there's going to be hella songs on there, like something like 25 tracks, which I don't like. I thought Afterlife also would have been way better with a little less, fat that could have been trimmed away. But still, Afterlife was great. I'm still listening to it this day. Let's see what this new record brings, 2093. Let's see what all the lore is about. As I said, make sure to, subscribe, stay up to date with this. Also join the Discord if you haven't yet. We're always posting stuff on there that is relevant to any music fan, regardless of who you're a fan of. We'll probably cover your favorite artists. That being said, let me know what y'all think about this. Do you think Yeat is dropping on the 16th or the 23rd or even later? Let me know all your thoughts and expectations for this in the comments down below. If you watched this video to the end and liked it, and you want to stay up to date with all current hip-hop events and releases, make sure to subscribe, turn on notifications, hit that like button, and go follow my social media, and most importantly, join my Discord in the description. Until the next one, you'll have an incredible day, and y'all take care.